We'll just start with say and spell your name.
Okay, I am Dr. Phil D. Myers, P-H-I-L-D-M-A-Y-E-R-S.
Great. Where are you from?
From Lafayette,
Born and raised?
born and raised.
Oh, great. That's great. What was it like to live in Lafayette?
Fantastic.
Where in Lafayette did you grow up specifically?
I lived about a block from the St. John's Cathedral.
Oh, wow. Yeah. So you have the soundtrack of bells in your head.
Yeah.
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 Where'd you go to school?
I went to Myrtle Place. It was UL training school, they called it. Some kind of a screwed up school. Believe me, it wasn't the best. I learned a lot at Myrtle Place. I didn't learn much there. But anyway, went there, and then I went to Lafayette High School. Then I went to, you want it all? Okay.
Sure, yeah.
All right, then I went to LSU.
Okay.
Then I went to UL. It wasn't UL then, but UL.
Yeah.
Then I went to, yeah, did I say Loyola Dental School? Yeah, I did. I think
wow.
so. Okay, then I went to, I'm a dentist, okay. I practiced for 5 years, then I went to the University of Nebraska for 2 years to get a specialty as a periodontist.
Okay, definitely. So Nebraska, did you stay up there long?
I stayed up there 2 years. Like to froze to death, believe me.
Did you come back down south for the warmth?
Oh, well, I mean, I'm from here. I was going to set up my practice in Lafayette, but there was already too many periodontists, so I set up in in Shreveport.
Shreveport. Okay.
Yeah.
So you were in Northern for a little while?
Yeah, I was up there for a while.
What was that like?
It was good. Very nice people. I loved it. Yeah.
Definitely. And you came back down to Lafayette eventually?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I was always back and forth. I'm divorced, and my kids were here, so every weekend I was back in Lafayette.
Okay, great. Can you tell me how you first got involved with AOC?
Yeah. What is her name? Dang it. I belong to the Writers Guild, Acadiana Writers Guild, and
Her name's probably Sudie Landry?
yeah, Sudie Landry told me about this, yeah.
Yeah. What was your first impression of AOC?
Well, I'm impressed, very impressed. God almighty, y'all have a wonderful setup, and it's hard for me to believe that y'all are so smart. Okay, y'all, fantastic.
What surprised you most about AOC?
Well, the whole thing surprised me. I was amazed. I mean, God, the technology and everything about it. I mean, what you're doing right now. Everything about it surprised me. I am amazed.
What is your dream project to work on?
My dream product is I write books, okay? And I've got a plan, okay?
Yeah.
A plan, okay? Well, you want me to tell you about that?
Sure, if you want to.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I write a lot. I have about 11 books ready to publish right now, and then 2 more to go. The book, my first book, the first book that I wrote was, I had gone to, you want me to tell you the whole thing? I mean,
yeah,
okay,
that's why we're here.
Okay, the first book I wrote was, I'd gone to, while I was practicing, I went to, I went to a baking school in Washington State for a semester, and you know, because I wanted to open a restaurant. My father and mother were in the restaurant business here in Lafayette. Anyway, wanted to open a restaurant. I was going to open it in Shreveport. I had a lot and everything. It was all ready to roll. And then when I came back, I was about this close. I just couldn't get quite enough money to open it, so I was all disappointed. So anyway, at night when I go to bed, I get on my knees and say my prayers and everything. Got in bed, and then I was just wondering. I was just saying, man, why in the heck did I go to baking school? I mean, I did. Why in the heck did I go to baking school? Yeah. Because I mean, I wanted to open a restaurant, and I can't open it up. So I went to sleep, and then in the middle of the night, I had a dream about a bread book, and I'd never written anything before. I mean, when I was a kid, my two big brothers told me that if you liked English, you were a sissy. I mean, and it was like putting nails in my coffin, I'm telling you. So I didn't like English. And so I went through 10 years of college. I don't know how I ever did that. It was a struggle. But anyway, when I woke up in the middle of the night and I had a dream about why I went to baking school, was I was going to write a book about baking bread for children.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So anyway, so I got out of bed. I dreamed the whole thing. I mean, I didn't never think I'd ever write anything.
Yeah.
So I mean, I can't spell. My punctuation's horrible. I mean, it's unbelievable. But anyway, so I got up and I had a little tablet. I opened it up and I sketched out the cover of the book. And then I opened each page, and every page of the book I knew exactly what I was going to do. I mean, exactly. So then I set about doing it. This real wonderful artist from New Iberia did a cover, and the name of the book was "Give Us This Day Our Daily Bread." Okay, so of course the book was based on the Bible anyway. So what I did was I had her do a cover, and it was like God handing down a loaf of bread. And what I wanted to do, I did when I was practicing dentistry. Every year I went to Mexico as a medical missionary with a team, okay, once or twice a year. Anyway, so I wanted to reach, it was a kid's book, but I wanted to reach blacks, whites, and Hispanics. So I had a black couple, a white couple, and a Hispanic couple looking up at the bread coming from God. Anyway, then I went and did the whole book, went to a friend of mine's house, took pictures of the kids baking breads and everything, put the big bread together and the book together and wrote it. And that was my first book.
Cool.
Okay, I mean, my second book, I'm not going to go through all of my books, but everything that I write, it comes to me. My second book, I've got a really close friend. I used to box in high school, and I belonged to the Raging Cajun Boxing Club here. And this girl, Deirdre Gogarty, was in Ireland, and her daddy and mother were both dentists, and she wanted to be a boxer. She wanted to be a boxer. So they wouldn't let her box in Ireland. So when she had a couple of underground fights in England, but they wouldn't let her box. So anyway, so this friend of Bo Williford, who has the boxing club, called him up and told him that he's got a girl that he'd like to look at, and he said, "No, I don't want to look at her because I don't train women, and I don't believe in women boxers." So anyway, after a while, he was persuaded to come get her anyway. So he brought her over here and started training her, and she eventually became a world champion female boxer. I mean, hers is an amazing story anyway, but she was a very close friend of mine. I mean, is a very close. She's a graphic artist, and she does the artwork and the graphic arts in all of my books. But anyway, very, very close friend of mine. So I was going to watch her. I was from Shreveport, but I was living in Lafayette, and I was going to go watch her fight. She was fighting at a casino up there somewhere. I forgot where she was fighting anyway, but I went to see a fight. When I was a kid, I used to, about from 7 years old, we had a camp way down the Chaffalaya River, and I used to go to with my parents, my father, and down the river. I was in the swamp all through my life anyway, and I love swamps. So on the way to Shreveport, which is north of here, of course, I was headed north, and the sun was in my left. It was on my left side. In the west, it was in the afternoon, and I passed by right around Turkey Creek. They have a little swampy area, a little bitty swampy area, and just a beautiful little swamp. I love it. Every time I pass by it, I just love to look at that because I love swamps. Anyway, so I was passing by that swamp, and this book came to me. Big alligators, okay, big alligators. My daughter had my grandson was about 2 years old. I mean, I loved him to death, okay? So it was, and his name is AJ. So anyway, so the sun when you're going north is on the left side, and those the sun visors never ever work. I mean, they leave us big space there. And so anyway, so what I do is I take a manila folder, put it over the sun visor, and I can pull it back so I'm not getting that sun in my face. So anyway, so that the story came to me. Okay, so I pulled the sun visor down, and I put the car on cruise and got a pen and started trying to write, which my handwriting's horrible, and I'm writing on the back of this manila folder, the first half of the book. Well, I get up there, watch a fight. I got a room in a hotel, watch a fight and everything, and of course she won. And I mean, I loved the fight. So on the way back to Lafayette, I decided I'd take a little diversion and I love Toledo Bend. Look at Toledo Bend, okay, what I could see of it. So anyway, on the way back, the second half of the book came to me. I pulled a manila folder, wrote it out, and I had my second book, Big Alligators, which is a fantastic book, okay. So anyway, then I started writing books from then on, and every book that I write just comes to me. My most recent book that I'm just completing right now, all I have to do is next Saturday I'll get I have a wonderful artist, so I'm going to get the cover. We're going to do the front and back cover, and it's called Guitar Dog the Prodigal Pup. Okay, and it's based on the prodigal son in the Bible, and I mean it is really good. And the artist that I have she is so good. Cool. But anyway, so that's what my passion is, writing.
I can tell, yeah.
And I write. I'm retired. I write.
Yeah.
I mean every day, 7 days a week, trying to get all of this stuff straight. I'm not good on the computer, and I mean it drives me crazy. But I struggle through it all and the best I can. Anyway. But it's great.
Well, are you a reader then? Most writers are big readers.
Oh yeah, definitely.
What do you like to read?
I like to read. Well, I love my friend Deirdre's book, My Call to the Ring. I mean, boy, she did it. It took her several years to do it, but her with oh shucks. Anyway, she wrote this book about the struggles that she went to become a boxer, and it's just a great little book. And I like The Last of the Mohegans. I like the way that Edgar Allan Poe. I love the way he writes, and even oh heck, I can't even think. I'm of course nervous, but anyway, the Red Badge of Courage. I love that book too. I love the way that it's written, and then I love Byzantium. There's about one of the books on Byzantium. It's just a fantastic book. But there's a lot of books that I love. I love A Confederacy of Dunces. That is a fantastic book to me. I mean, fantastic. And of course, Mark Twain and stuff, the way that they wrote, they were not politically correct, and neither was some of these writers. I mean, they had some leeway. I think they call it writers something privilege or something like that, whatever it is. But I love that part, okay? But anyway, yeah, that's some of my favorite books.
So when you were growing up, we didn't talk much about this, but when you were growing up, did you have any mentors at any point?
Yeah, I mean, my two big brothers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, my two big brothers. Of course, they're the ones that told me
I was going to say,
that I'm a sissy if I don't like English. But I mean, but otherwise, yeah, we used to just have, life was fun, boy. It was fun. Lafayette was real small, and it was good. We never locked the doors in our house, left the keys in the car, and I mean, everything.
Yeah.
I mean, it was fun. Life was really fun. And my daddy was in the restaurant business, had several restaurants, and I used to work in the restaurants with him, and he smoked cigars. So, so I started smoking cigars when I was about 12. I mean, it was unbelievable because they had these really good cigars in his restaurants, and I'd get the cigars and smoke them. First time I did it, I got sick as heck, but I loved cigars. I don't smoke anymore, but I loved cigars. We used to just have fun. Life was fun.
That's just fun. Yeah.
I mean, fun.
Good. Very cool. Who would you include on a playlist of music that you could, if you could only listen to one playlist for the rest of your life? Who's on it? Several people, if you want.
Several people. But Bob Dylan, I love him. Frank Sinatra, I the old Blue Eyes. I love old Blue Eyes.
Mhm.
You know, I like a lot of music. I like some classical music. I like a lot of music. Speaking of music, okay, in my Big Alligators book, I had an artist from Gail DeGregory from Houston do the artwork, and I mean, she was fantastic too. She did that in artwork in about 3 or 4 of my books. But anyway, she did the artwork, and then I wrote the book like a song, like a song. So I had a girl from over here. Geez, man, golly, well, I'm just brain dead. But anyway, Marion Muffalato, who did the song, and her husband did the music, and yeah, I mean, it's great. So the book is a song, and then I had it as a God dog it, Miss. Damn, I can't think of his name. The Cajun artist over here, I love him, and I can't think of his name anyway. He did
Safford?
No, he did the song, Michaud, Louis Michaud.
Sure.
He did the song. He couldn't get the words of the book into the song. It didn't no rhythm to it. So anyway, but he did. So he did a great little Cajun song about the book. So but that book has 2 songs to it.
Yeah.
So in the purpose of my book, let's go. I always have a purpose in everything that I do. All of my books. I have several kids' books, and my kids' books. My purpose with those books is to give kids something that they can use. And now I'm not a preacher, and I don't preach and all of this sort of stuff, but I always throw in just a little bit of something about God into most of my books. And it's just to get the kids away from their computers and all the stuff that they're doing now, and look at something that's wholesome and American. Okay. Anyway, so these books. I'm not sure which book I was on, but the Big Alligators book. The Big Alligators book is great for kids, and it's great for the Cajun culture here. Okay, so I always think about Lafayette, my own city and my own culture, and it's a great book. I'm telling you, when I get it going, it will. And I always think about what I can do to help. So when I get this book going, it'll be a major thrust for tourism in this area. I promise you that. Okay?
Very cool. As a child, did you always want to be a dentist, or was there something else you wanted to be?
I wanted to open a restaurant.
Oh, that's true.
But I did want to be a dentist. I used to go, my mother and we used the dentist, Andrew Elmer, in New Iberia. And I mean, he was a character. And I boxed in high school, so when I'd sit in his dental chair, he'd come at me and start pounding on me and stuff like that. And I mean, I cussed like a sailor. I mean, it was unbelievable. So unfortunately, I picked up cussing, okay, which I'm of course not doing right now. But anyway, I love the guy. I just loved him, and so I don't know why. I was in pre-med, and I thought about, when I was towards the end of it, I decided, well, I'm going to apply to medical school. Then I was studying with a friend of mine that he wanted to apply to dental school. So I said, well, heck, I'll go to, why not apply to dental school? I won't have to get woken up at night, which was a joke. But anyway, so I went to dental school.
Okay, very cool. Who were your childhood heroes besides your 2 older brothers?
Well, I mean, that was it, especially them. Yeah, they were my heroes. And my daddy was my hero. I mean, God, I loved him, man. He was smart, boy. He was fun. And both of my brothers were too, both of them.
Yeah, definitely. What achievement are you most proud of?
My books.
Yeah.
That's what I'm most proud of.
That's good. Yeah, definitely. If you could have dinner with 5 famous people from history, or just people from your life, who would they be?
People from my life?
Yeah.
Trump, okay? I would love to have lunch with Trump, okay? I don't know. I mean, I hadn't thought never.
Maybe a little Bob Dylan or Frank.
Well, of course. Oh yeah. You better believe that. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Cool. What's your superpower?
My superpower.
Yeah.
Now, what do you mean superpower?
Like, is there a trait or a quality or a talent that makes you step above other people?
Well, I'm not a step above other people.
Well, what gives you an edge? Is it your
Well,
writing?
I think it's my imagination and my honesty and the gift of making something complicated simple. I mean, I can really do that. I've always done that.
Definitely.
So, and it's reflected in my books because, and not taking myself, did I say not taking myself too seriously?
No, that's
Well,
correct.
that's another thing. And not worrying about what other people think, because I don't. You know, I write my books, and I like them. Okay, if I didn't like them, I mean, I wouldn't write them. So no, so I don't care if you like my book or you don't like my book. I mean, it really makes no difference to me. Okay, so yeah, those
are good superpowers to have.
Yeah.
I wish I had some of those. What's one thing about you that few people know?
Oh, I don't know. I guess most people know a lot of things about me.
You're an open book, literally.
Yeah. I have nothing to hide.
Yeah.
You know, they talk about your telephones, your TVs, being people able to monitor you and all this and stuff. I said, let them monitor. Yeah, I have nothing to hide.
Who are some of your favorite characters in literature or movies or anything like that? You mentioned like Mark Twain books.
Yeah.
Are there characters that stand out for you?
I don't know. I'm not really. I love cowboy movies. I still love cowboy movies. I mean, when I was a kid, we played cowboys and Indians all the time, every day practically.
Yeah.
You know, and they had this when I was in Lafayette. You know, you could go to a movie every Saturday, and I mean, they didn't cost nothing. I mean, it's unbelievable. And I would go to a cowboy movie every Saturday in my life, every Saturday. Yeah, but I mean, characters. I mean, I just right offhand, I can't think of any.
What inspires you?
God.
Okay.
Yeah.
Definitely. Good answer. If you were a season, what would you be and why?
If I was a season, I guess I would be spring, autumn. I'd be.
Yeah, why's that?
March. I don't know. Not March. What am I saying?
Fall?
No. November, August. I love August.
Oh, okay.
We used to go on mission trips, and we'd go, unfortunately, in July when it was burning hot. But we did go in August sometimes, and it was just beautiful and great. Yeah, I like that time of the year for some reason.
Okay. Let's see. What's your least favorite chore?
My week's favorite chore?
Yeah.
Sure not cleaning. Okay. It's not at all. No. I don't know. I don't consider it a chore. So no, I have no chore.
Yeah. Fair enough. That's a good answer. What's your spirit animal? Have you ever heard of that?
My spirit animal?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, when you think my favorite, I love birds, is a hawk, one of those big hawks. I love them. And when I see them, they give me good luck. I mean, you know, if I'm going back and forth to Shreveport and stuff like that, if I see a hawk, I'm going to Houston, wherever I go. If I see a hawk, it's a lucky day for me. I love hawks. They're really lucky. That's my favorite.
That's cool. What are you looking forward to in 2017?
I'm looking forward to getting my books finally published, okay, which we're working on right now. Yeah.
That's good. Cool.
So, but I have a dream, man. You want my dream?
Sure.
Okay. All of my books lead up to one thing. I mean, when I started writing them, they lead up to the last book, the last books. And the last two books that I have, but I'm going to do it as one, is I've got a bobo on my toe. And then the companion to that is I've got more bobos than you. So I've got a bobo on my toe. I haven't got the artwork on. I have two more books that I'm getting the artwork on. My second to last book is of the Mouse That Couldn't Find a House. Okay. And then my last two books, I've got a bobo on my toe, and I've got more bobos than you. So I've got a bobo on my toe as a little boy. You know, I've got a bobo on my toe. How I got it, I don't know. And then he goes into a big, you know, maybe I was climbing that tree. I just don't know how that could be. But anyway, he goes through his whole scenario about the bobo on his toe. The second companion book is at the birthday party the other night, I turned to the left and I should have turned right. And I bumped into Jack and I bumped into Alice and she bumped into Jack. And little bad Johnny ran over my back. You know, hi, my name is Sue and I've got more bobos than you. Well, anyway, so she goes through her bobo story and she's got bobos everywhere. She outdoes him. Those two books are my end. So this, and the purpose for that is because I go to Starbucks every day. Okay, I love Starbucks, and what I do is, that's where I do most of my writing, is at Starbucks. And I love kids. I mean, I just love them. I look at them, they're just so cute and so innocent. I mean, just, you know, so genuine. So anyway, my final thing, my final desire, and what I'm going with my books is, I want to be able to sit in Starbucks and see little kids come in with Bobo Band-Aids on them, because I'm going to get Johnson & Johnson or 3M to put my books on some Band-Aids, and I mean, it's going to happen. So right now, with this book that I'm doing right now, you know, I've got so many books now. Look at me, I can't even think of my book. It's Guitar Dog the Prodigal Pup. Well, I'm getting it together. And the theme of that book is, well, anyway, is the story of the prodigal son. But anyway, but in the book, I inject stuff about Purina. You know, the Purina dog chow. Okay, now he's a dog. Okay, you frowned. He's a dog. Okay. So I injected Purina dog chow because he ends up in the middle of the story. He gets invited to go to the Westminster Kennel Show, the most, you know, the most popular spot in the whole wide world for dogs. Okay, anyway, so I have some great art, and I write everything in rhyme with the Westminster Kennel Show, and then later on he did some other stuff about Purina dog chow, and then I've got him, first of all, in the beginning he gets invited to the Grand Ole Opry, but I can't use those things in my book.
Right.
But so what I'm going to do is, I'm going to get some author's proofs. I'm not going to publish it, and I'm going to send about 5 books to Purina, and I'm going to send about 5 books to the Grand Ole Opry to get their permission, which of course they'll give me, because I mean, for marketing, I mean, especially with Purina, they had I don't know, a couple of years, 2 or 3 years ago, they had some bad press about something. I forgot what it was. It's something that was not good for them. So this little book is going to give them the opportunity to shoot I mean, their image will be. Anyway, so that's so I've got a purpose with some of my books. Okay.
Very cool. Very cool. Just a couple more questions.
Okay.
How would you like to be remembered?
It's just an honest person, you know, no big deal. And, you know, look, I want my kids and all of my people, I don't want them to waste their lives worrying and remembering. I want them to live their lives. Yeah.
Describe yourself in 3 words.
Honest, open-minded, and willing.
Nice. Good words. Awesome.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Well, thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Great job.
Okay, thanks.